Apologies for starting the stream slightly late. I was jamming out to that "I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight" Monday Night Football intro that they were just doing. So what a way to get us pumped up as opposed to Carrie Underwood or whoever that was on Sunday Night Football. But anyways, you dudes, Oren here. The kickoff just happened. We have the Super Bowl rematch going on. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you got to be rooting for the Chiefs tonight, because if the Eagles lose, then the Lions and Eagles are tied for the same record, 8-2, tied for the number 1 seed in the NFC North. That being said, the Eagles would still win the tiebreaker because they have more better record within the NFC conference than the Lions do, because they haven't lost to an NFC opponent yet, whereas the Lions lost to the Seattle Seahawks. Yet another reason to hate the Wicked Witch of the Pacific Northwest. By the way, Patrick Mahomes just scrambled to his right and threw an incomplete pass. Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things, while meanwhile Andy Reid doing Andy Reid things. The Chiefs are kind of a what's the best way to phrase it? Fridge is on the other side. I don't know. Grass is greener on the other side. They're an opposite team. Usually they're ranked first in defense and middle in the pack in defense. But now they're ranked toward the top of the league in defense and middle in offense. But whatever's getting the job done. Oh, Mahomes just got sacked by Reddick. Hassan Reddick just came out of nowhere and got him. It didn't even look like Mahomes saw him coming at all anywhere. But this is a battle. 2 Titans going at it. Top O-lines, top defensive lines, top quarterbacks. Dang. Reddick got the better of that one. I was expecting Jalen Carter in that one, but there's plenty of Eagles defensive line players that can do damage. Remember, we're rooting for the Chiefs to win. For what I just explained, Mahomes dumps it off to McKinnon, gets 4 yards. But that'll be a 4th down, though. You got players like Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis. It looks like Jalen Carter is not a starter from what they're showing, but I imagine he's in the rotation. So, whew. And the Chiefs have to punt it. And it bounces out right around the 45-yard line. Windy night in Arrowhead Stadium. They show it hyping up Jalen Hurts. There was a conversation topic in another stream the other night of who has the best logo, who has that sort of thing, or worst logo or whatever. I think the Chiefs have the cryptically dirtiest logo, if you really think about it. The Arrowhead. Think about it. All right, 1st and 10. Eagles at the 48-yard line. They hand it off to Swift, and he gains about 3 yards there. DeAndre Swift, former Detroit Lion. Eagles got a lot of hitters. They got Hurts, they got Swift, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. Jason Kelsey is the center, and Lane Johnson, a right tackle. Lots of good players, lots of all-pro players. The Eagles really left their mark on the NFL last year, and they continued to last year, even though this is the team that stopped their journey in the Super Bowl last year. I see Trent McDuffie. He's another Chiefs defender that I'm excited about. I remember scouting him in the NFL draft a couple years ago. They hand off to Swift again. He gets tripped up and gains maybe a couple yards. Eagles struggle to get the run game going so far. Chris Jones is in the lineup. Trent McDuffie. George Karlaftis, the edge rusher. He's another top edge rusher in the draft a couple of years ago, overshadowed by the likes of Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau. drinking decaffeinated green tea tonight. And I got cauliflower over here. I just finished eating a sub from Herbert's and Gerbert's, made by a fantastic coworker. Hurts is scrambling, avoiding defenders, and he fails. He gets sacked. Trent McDuffie finishes them off. Now it'll be 4th down. So both drives kind of end in the very, very similar ways. Chris Jones was involved in that too. And the Eagles punted away. This game so far is how it started is equivalent to 2 chess teams moving their pawns out. So everything's going the way part of the plan, as Heath Ledger's Joker would say. Meanwhile, we're getting the AT&T girl in the airplane commercial. Is that her official name, AT&T girl? AT&T lady? AT&T woman? I don't know. I remember looking up her name a while ago, but I forgot it. So, but you know, I know nobody's entered my stream yet, but it's okay. I figured based on the anticipated amount of hype around this game, it'd be in my best interest to record this game because, people might look back at it and see what people liked about it, what disliked about it. And being a random casual viewer of NFL games like myself, somebody with influence might learn a thing or two from what I'm talking about, which is why I like to stream games like this, especially since they're highly pumped up. Okay, now I see 2 people in the chat. So, yes, Beast. I knew you'd come tonight. Let's go Chiefs, indeed. And as I was talking about, if the Eagles lose, the Lions and the Chiefs will be tied for the same record at the top of the NFC. That being said, I Googled this a little while ago, but the Eagles would still win the tiebreaker because they have a better in-conference record than the Lions do because the Chiefs didn't lose to any NFC teams yet, but the Lions lost to the Wicked Witch of the Pacific Northwest, Seattle Seahawks. So yet another way the Seahawks have screwed over the Lions so far. Lions and Eagles, yeah. What did I say? Chiefs or something? Lions and Eagles is what I meant. But still, it'd be one step closer to getting the 1 seed. And imagine the Lions starting their playoff run at home in the division round after the wildcard round bye. That any opponent they face in Ford Field, that can't be easy, you know. We're back at the game. They're showing Donna Kelsey. She's talking to somebody. Both of her sons are playing in this game on opposite teams. Mahomes takes a snap, hands it off to Pacheco. He fights for about 4 yards there. Yep, you know what I mean, Beast. So don't worry. And by the way, in case anybody was wondering, no, that person that Travis Kelce's a friend, they are not attending this game. They have their own job to do tonight in South America. Oh, they ran it around, and he gets the first down and more. Huge gain there. Tackled out of bounds. Pacheco. And I just lost the volume. I don't know what's going on with my tablet tonight. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of fluctuating, but yeah, that was a big run by Pacheco. Pacheco is low-key one of my favorite players on the Chiefs. He was on my one of my fantasy teams last year, and he helped me win some key matchups during that last season. So 1st and 10 at the 48. They hand off another running back again. He spins around, gets a first down and more, down to the 40. Was that Kadarius Toney who was running with the ball? Yeah, looks like it. He was a running back on that play. There you go. Nothing personal against beating the Chargers a couple of weeks ago, you know. Hopefully we're helping you guys fire Brandon Staley because that's what you guys want, right? Quick pass to the side. Gains about 4 to 5 yards on that one. Hardman. I got to relearn some of these Chiefs receivers' names and their playmaker names. I know Sky Moore because he went to Western Michigan University, and I'm from Michigan. Western is like the arch rival of the college that I went to, Central Michigan University. And then there's Kadarius Toney, who is drafted by the Giants, a somewhat highly touted receiver who got traded to here. So Travis Kelce is obviously the biggest weapon, who they haven't gotten the ball to yet. Oh! Pacheco tackled for a loss. Williams on that tackle for loss. Came out of nowhere there. Rashid Rice. That's Jerry Rice's son, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he had a significant year after this year where he's kind of having a, rookie learn the NFL type of year. So 3rd and 7 at the 46-yard line. Mahomes in shotgun. Odd. Practice. That was passed to Kadarius Toney. It looks like it was a first down. It was close. Valdez Scouting. You mean MVS. I think that's what people commonly call him. Look, they're going to get a measurement for it. Raindrops on the screen. I was trying to explain this the other night, but certain quarterbacks by how their cadences sound a certain way, and Mahomes is always like something like that. You get what I mean. Right, yeah, no. If they talk about it with Tom Grassi and Brandon Perna, if they talk about a player and they nickname them like that, chances are I probably know them by that name better than like their actual name. So it is raining, and you can see the rain kind of going sideways in that game. You can tell this is going to be a dogfight. 1st and 10. Oh, Beast, you're ahead of me on that one with the offsides. Sean Smith is the referee. I keep wondering when we're going to see Nolan Smith, or was that Nolan Smith? I don't know Nolan Smith's number. I know Philadelphia has a lot of Georgia Bulldogs alums on their team, so especially on their defensive line. Mahomes and shotgun, running back on quick pass to number 4, and he get Rashid Rice, first down and more, out of bounds. Good play by Rashid Rice. Oh, yeah, Darius Slay, former Detroit Lions in this game also. Yeah, fair enough. If it's like a touchdown play, then I don't want to know until I see it. So, like other little things like that, that's fine. So, it's just something I like to remind every new or person who enters my thread, because I'm generally kind of behind, and I like to try to remind them as often as I can. And he goes nowhere on that one. Son Reddick right there. He got a sack earlier. Tony, 19. Tony, 19. Current play drive, 8 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes. Handing off Pacheco, driving through, gets 5 yards, 4 yards. Got to the 3-yard line, closer to that touchdown, to that end zone. The golden end zone. As us Lions fans know, key to good drives is good blocking on key plays, just like what these teams seem to understand here. So Mahomes a shotgun, motioning to one, processing. Pockets closing on him, lobs it off, wide open, touchdown Chiefs. Justin Watson on the catch. Another sort of bonkers Mahomes play. Like the pocket was closing around him while he was processing, and he just cheats up forward and just lofts it out to a wide open that person who I never heard of. That's why Patrick Mahomes is like the Michael Jordan of the sport. Mahomes. Yeah, that is true. I was a little concerned about Mahomes in general throughout the season because he went through sort of a period of games where he was throwing interceptions, but I think it's like one of those things. Like come postseason time, he'll probably look as sharp as ever. So it's kind of like the Bengals last year. Like they kind of seemed like they were mid for a while, but then when they get hot, and they get hot right at the time that you would think they would. I need to buy new markers for my dry erase board, so yeah, probably. I imagine he probably just like made up his own thing as he went along, and kind of like what Josh Dobbs does for the Vikings now, without knowing the plays, without knowing anybody, but he just kind of Madden NFLs it and has success with it. So, by the way, my short, which previews the 5 players to keep an eye on for this game, got like 400 views as opposed to like the common like 20 or 30 from my other shorts. So I knew people wanted to watch this game, but I added strategic hashtags, like Swift, because we know, like, even though I'm technically talking about DeAndre Swift, which type of target audience that would attract because of that hashtag. And I added Jalen Carter, so Carter, hashtag Carter, and then hashtag Elliott, the kicker. Like all 3 of them were Eagles people, but I probably should have added some Chiefs people in there too. But the names like Carter are more common, so. But yeah, I think I finally figured it out. I just gotta put hashtags of the players' names into my stuff, and then people will notice it. And because my goal with those shorts is to educate casual fans who are watching this game. Maybe they're scrolling through on their YouTube shorts and it's like, I'm trying to get some basic information about this game, and then you can look at my short, and there's someone that you can watch, a player to watch, or whatever. So I'm kind of experimenting with that version as well as the primetime like preview versions that I used to do, and just trying to see, like at the season, I'll probably evaluate all types and see which one is the most effective going forward. So. No, we're not back yet. Oh, we are kind of. To the soothing sounds of Joe Buck's voice. I honestly don't hate him anywhere near as much as I used to hate him, but he doesn't work for Fox anymore. He works for ESPN, so I imagine that probably has a bit of a factor. And then the way he handled the DeMar Hamlin situation last season, I think, kind of won me over to him a little bit. But I'm sure once he does, no, actually, I don't think he was that too biased against the Lions when he did Monday Night Football a few weeks ago. I honestly don't remember that much. But he wasn't biased against them enough to where I would have noticed it. Travis Kelce was the first one to signal the touchdown on that reception. Chiefs, 18-0 in last two seasons when scoring first, including the playoffs. Not a good sign, Eagles. Not a good sign. Hurts processing. Scrambling to his right. He passes it. Caught to Devonta Smith. He runs out of bounds at first down and more. I think I somewhat agree with that because after all, he might just get it just by default, but I don't think he's played anywhere near enough to deserve that. So I'm trying to think off the top of my head who would deserve that award. Maybe Russell Wilson. I'd have to think about that one a little bit. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Chiefs defense line up right at the tip of the Arrowhead logo. They hand off to the Swift, and he's fighting for about 7 yards. Yeah, Tua for sure. He had a pretty good season last year, except for the concussion. So the fact that he was having like a perfect year health-wise and doing so well. Oh, yeah. Coach of the year, I think we all know who deserves to get that, regardless of what happens for the rest of the year. Maybe Doug Peterson. Maybe Nick Sirianni. Hurts takes it himself, gets a first down and more. Down to the 41. Maybe the Cleveland Browns coach as a runner-up. Maybe the Texans coach, too. But we all know who the front runner and the rightful winner of Coach of the Year should be. Yeah, they both deserved it last year. Definitely not this year, though. So I'm getting lots of previews for Aquaman as I watch ESPN tonight. So ironic since Aquaman is not a Disney product. Yeah. CJ Stroud's a big reason why that team is being so successful. Although he didn't have that good of a game yesterday, but the Texans defense really stepped up. So that's why it's good to have a defensive-minded head coach for those sort of situations, I suppose. I honestly did not expect Aquaman to get a sequel movie. I didn't think it was that successful in the box office, but it's like, what else are you going to put out? I kind of want to try to figure out who's going to win some of the awards. I watched that award show for the NFL for the first time last season, and it was definitely interesting. Yeah. Yep. Fair point. So, offensive player of the year candidates that I can think of right now, probably Tyreek Hill or AJ Brown. Um, Defensive player of the year, probably TJ Watt off the top of my head. Defensive rookie of the year, probably Witherspoon. Offensive rookie of the year, no doubt CJ Stroud. Yep, thank you. That was what I was implying, Beast. Campbell is for sure the front runner. Unless they decide they just want to completely screw him over and give it to somebody else. But I don't think they could justify that, so they wouldn't have a choice but to vote for Campbell. Jason Kelsey's daughter. Huh. Mr. Finalist for Sexiest Man of the Year. Swift gets about a couple yards on that one. Oh, here we go. Wyatt Kelsey. I have a cousin named Wyatt, except Wyatt is a boy, and this Wyatt is a girl. Second and 7. Hurts and shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Is being chased around. Gets rid of the ball. And got it to Swift. Gains a few yards and a penalty on the play. Defense 38. Hands to the face. Legitimus need 13 penalties. Wow. Wow. So that does sound like a weakness. You could probably bait him into getting a pass interference penalty deep down the field if you wanted to go that route. I think the Lions, during their late comeback drive yesterday, they tried that with Jameson Williams and tried to bait the cornerback into getting that type of penalty to drive him down, but they were unsuccessful at it. If they were trying to do it, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that might have been the case. They hand it off to Swift again. Get another 4 yards. Okay. 2nd and 8. Pass across the field. First down. I think I saw that, and I didn't actually see the short, but I saw the thing for it. I just haven't clicked on it yet. Yep, and he got that touchdown pass, so J-Mo's proving the haters wrong. And man, has he been getting haters in the offseason, so he's proven he can be productive, although Goff's favorite target so far, St. Brown and Laporta. Nothing on that play. J-Mo's just too fast for Goff, apparently. If Stafford was the quarterback, he might be able to keep up. But Goff is an accurate passer, so I'd rather have that than a flamethrower, you know? You know what I mean? Anyway, 2nd and 10. 1:11 to go in the first quarter. Hurts does hand off to Swift. He goes around. He's getting a first down and more. Spinning around and down to the 2. I'm still trying to figure out my power rankings, and I need to see the results of this game to figure that out. So, because the 4 of the top teams, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions, and Ravens, I need to figure that out. And Swift going around the edge. No one's near him. Touchdown, Eagles. Nothing we Lions fans haven't seen once or twice before. Stafford in his prime and his younger years for sure. Not the injury-riddled Stafford, which he had proved his toughness time and time again for us. So never asked for anything except obviously to be traded out at the time. So yeah, I kind of miss Stafford, but he got his happiness. Oh, whoa, doink! Doinked in. What are you doing, Elliot? Elliot, you're scaring me. I was talking you up in that short. I have the 9 of the 10 teams figured out for my power rankings video, which is going to come out soon, sometime after this game. But I just need to figure out the order, and I think I'm gonna incorporate more recency bias, more like winning streaks will be a factor into this game. So who's been playing more well recently, so to speak. I talked about this when I used to do raid bait videos. This whole thing was a package, all the magnets and this NFL thing. I found it on eBay, and I bought it off eBay, and it was from Party Animal Inc. is, I guess, the name of the company that sold it. So Party Animal Inc. and then like NFL fridge magnets, teams or whatever. That's kind of what I looked up. And honestly, I wish these magnets were like larger, kind of like it's all the way over there. Like the Detroit Lions magnet that I use. I wish all my magnets of all the teams were that size, but I work with what I have. So, because you can barely see this on my YouTube channel, right? And I'm not at the stage as a YouTuber yet to where I'm comfortable with using graphics. So I just try to rely on the fridge magnets as best I can, you know? Oh, there we go. I was looking for something. A hold. Ooh, grab and restrict. Interesting. Are the refs on the Eagles' side tonight? I wonder. Trying to make it up for that last Super Bowl play from last year. I might just do it that for the number 10 team. I might just do it with the team with the current biggest winning streak right now. I think they've been playing so well that they earn it. So, no, Pacheco goes nowhere. You do whatever you got to do. I might just do it, though. Perna would like it. I know that. $70 yards, 67 yards. First quarter is over. Nick Sirianni. Woo! I look like a douchebag. Woo! Hello, Jennifer Garner. Into the first quarter. So it's pitcher's duel so far, but lots of good plays so far. It's two tough teams, two titans of teams, two evenly matched teams. So it's the equivalent to like moving pawns out on the board and then getting your bishops and knights out. I don't know if anybody plays chess as often as I used to, but I used to be pretty good at high school chess. I don't think I played very many people who was able to beat me, but then I worked at a summer camp where I met somebody who was borderline grandmaster who beat me almost all the time. So, but my strategy for chess is just try to get many of your pieces to cover as many spots on the board as possible, and then just chip away at your opponent's mistakes, and then treat losing either rook the same as losing a queen. So just think of them as very valuable, and just chip away until you have so much of an advantage that you'll eventually get the checkmate. And then don't lose your rooks or your queens, especially not your king, because then that game would be over. Commercial break. I'll probably finish this year doing the NFL Plus thing on the tablet, but next year I might actually just go the traditional TV route just because of how behind I am watching this game while everybody else is probably ahead of me. So, I like to think of these streams with this tablet because that's how I watch the games as sort of a product review. Like, is it good to use the NFL Plus app, and is it good to use the tablet for that? And I like having this because it's convenient because I can watch it anywhere I want, basically. But that NFL Plus has to get their broadcast from other broadcasts, which means like a delay. So I'm like at least a play and a half behind, like live. So. Mahomes and his cadence. 25. Pacheco running the ball. Gets a couple yards there. So tip off the second quarter. Mahomes scrambling, goes up the middle with it. Gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage by Jalen Carter, and there's a flag on the play. Jalen Carter does something. Do you guys think the Lions should have drafted Jalen Carter? Personally, I don't. Holding off on 79. Decline. Fourth down. The refs apparently missed a holding call on the Eagles' touchdown, and it makes me think, oh boy, are the refs switching sides? Because you think they'd be in favor of the Chiefs. But no. Tommy Thompson on the punt. Catches the return, gains a few yards there, goes out at the 40. I always get jacked up anytime something's interesting on special teams happens, so. Because who really thinks about special teams, you know? So that could be how you make your mark with your fellow MNFL friends if you want to sound smart, you know? Just know more about special teams than anybody else. But as far as I understand it, Bill Belichick is the special teams guru out of everybody. The media is trying really hard to push the story thread throughout the season of whether or not Bill Belichick will be fired. So we've heard no concrete or definitive evidence to suggest that may be the case, although aside from the Patriots' record, that's probably the most concrete thing that you could see there. So there's been one head coach fired this season so far. I'm wondering who the next one may be. It probably would have to be against for a bad team and a very embarrassing loss, kind of like the Rams and the Broncos last season on the Nickelodeon game, which resulted in Nathaniel Hackett getting fired, where Patrick Starr was like, "Well, I guess that's not roast wanted to cook." Man, when I heard about that, I couldn't stop laughing. I wonder what the Nickelodeon game this year is going to be. In fact, I have time to Google that. Looks like they're doing the Super Bowl. They're promoting the Black Friday game between the Dolphins and Jets. We now have a Black Friday game. Interesting. Tim Boyle's the starter now, not Zach Wilson, after Robert Saleh had to tackle his own quarterback while heading toward him. Okay, the Chiefs and Raiders. That's the Christmas game for the Nickelodeon game. A.J. Brown gets in on the action, catches a pass, gets close to the first down, near the logo on the field. Oh, man, I have hat hair, don't I? Well, I have short hair, but you can feel the hat hair toward the back. You can thank my day job for that. 2nd and 2. At the 47-yard line. They hand it off, and he gets the first down, although I can't see him. Boston Scott on the carry. I like that name, Scott. Fun fact, my middle name is Scott, so way to go, Scott. Hasn't missed a game. Jalen Hurts has not. 1st and 10. Handing it off. And he gets tackled in the backfield. Brought down on the line of scrimmage by Willie Gay. Number 50. Willie Gay, no gain. Joe Buck says. It looked like a tackle for loss. He grabbed him right in the backfield, but then brought him down at the line of scrimmage. Second and 9. Hurts and shotgun. Processing. Passes. And it's intercepted. Snead on the pick. He threw it right to him, too. Did he fumble it? Did he fumble it and the Eagles recovered it back? No, yeah. All right. Yeah, it was a low pass for that intended receiver, too, to Brown. I think that pass was just underthrown. Yeah, these top-tier quarterbacks, they're not prone to interceptions every now and then. We saw it with Hurts against the Jets, and then Mahomes also against the Jets. So the Jets are the marker for how good a quarterback really is. Because if they throw fewer interceptions against the Jets, then you know they're truly a good quarterback. As Robert Saleh said, his team has embarrassed some quarterbacks. Even though he himself has a quarterback that embarrasses him all the time. Man, you can't help but feel bad for the Jets. All that hype in the offseason after getting Aaron Rodgers, bringing in all his buddies for him, and then first drive of the season, just out for the year. A lot of quarterbacks have a lot of out for the year type of injuries. We got Joe Burrow now. We got the Browns on Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins. I know I'm missing one or two. But yeah, it's just been unfortunate because that's not good for business, for ratings, because we want to see these marketable quarterbacks duke it out, I'm just thankful, though, that Jared Goff is not on that list. Knock on wood. Excuse me. Pac-Man in the pistachios commercials. Although the pistachios looked like cheeseburgers at first glance. Like far away cheeseburgers, but then you realize they're just small pistachios because pistachios are a small food. Man, we got 3 Thursday night games and 1 Friday night game. I'm probably going to have to do 5 players to watch shorts for each one of those. But luckily, after tomorrow, I'll have plenty of time to do that. .30-yard line. Mahomes is scrambling up the middle. He slides, gets about 4 yards there. And 2 linemen are fighting in front of him. They're showing the replay, but not the fight. Oh, you're screwing this up, Joe Buck and camera crew. Show us what's happening on the field, not the replay. Dang it. Okay, I guess it wasn't anything relevant. I thought there might be flags thrown, but nope. Mahomes still has the ball, running with it now toward the sideline. Cross to the 35-yard line before going down. Brown and Hurts yelling at each other. Third and 4. Odd. Mahomes processing. Passes it. The pass is caught. Down to the 50. Justin Watson. I think I'll remember that name. Down to the 50. Right above the logo. Oh, and my tablet is acting up again. There we go. "49-yard line." Or 48, actually. Hands it off to Pacheco, and he gets down to the first, almost to the first down. That was an explosive run right there. I like that. Second and 1. They hand off to Pacheco again. He gets the first down and more. Travis Kelce getting a lot of attention. Why he's not getting the ball. Getting double teamed constantly. I'm not worried. Like late in the game, he'll make a key play or something. Quick pass to Kelce. There we go. Gained about 7 yards on that one. Second and 2. 8-yard gain, excuse me. Oh, Mahomes processing, running with it now. He's getting the first down and goes out of bounds. Mahomes, arguably the definitive dual threat quarterback. He or Lamar Jackson. The best quarterback in the NFL. Most people would have that opinion of him. Definitely the most successful in the NFL right now. That's playing in the NFL right now. Pitch to Edwards, and he gets around to the first down and out of bounds. The Chiefs are moving the ball, capitalizing on their interception. Oh, I heard, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing, boys? Who's yelling at like that? The camera's on Andy Reid with Travis Kelce walking nearby him. First and 10 at the 14-yard line. Mahomes drops back, processes, passes down the middle, and it's intercepted. Byard gets the interception in the end zone. This game is back and forth. This game is back and forth. This could come down to the wire. This might just be one of the best, if not the top, Monday Night Football game of the year. I mean, it is the Super Bowl rematch after all. Napoleon preview. I might actually go see this. With Joaquin Phoenix. I'm going to go restroom. Be right back. All right, what'd I miss? Oh, just another commercial. Arrowhead Stadium. Second quarter, 6:45 to go. Patrick Mahomes sipping his Gatorade, sitting on the bench. While the Eagles first and 10 it at the 20-yard line. And Swift gets the ball for a first down. Explosive play. Yeah, the ball was thrown a little behind, but that Byard picked up on that route really well, though. Hurts processing, and he gets sacked. Chris Jones on the sack. That D-line switched to formation at the last second, and then must have paid off for them. 7-yard loss. Wow, Arrowhead Stadium is pretty loud. Right up there with Ford Field. Hurts, check down to the tight end. Jack Stoll. It's crazy to think that it's been right around 2 months since I went to that Lions game and against the Falcons. Look how much time has passed since then. 3rd and 14. Hurts in shotgun, running back on his right. Processes, running with it, and he gets sacked again. Jones, back-to-back sacks. Really trying to earn that contract extension he wanted. Man, oh man. The way this game is going, it's anybody's game so far. But the Chiefs' defense is for real, for sure. And the Eagles have to punt. Kadarius Toney's trying to return it. Get past the 30, through the 40, and to the 50, to the 45. A decent return on that one. Good job, Tony. I love it when special teamers do stuff. Imagine if the result of this game came down to a special teams play. Because both offenses and defenses seem like they have each other canceled out. So imagine if special teams is the deciding factor. Pacheco gets about 4 yards on that play. Showing flashbacks to Super Bowl with Kadarius Toney. 65-yard punt return, set up a touchdown. Mahomes takes the snap. Quick pass. Incomplete, intended for Watson. Chiefs have had a bunch of these are all drives. Bunch of 3rd and outs. 3rd and 7 isn't considered 3rd and out, is it? I'm going to have to look that up later. How's that offsides? There's the flag, but it's a deep pass, incomplete. Yeah, there's a flag. Why does the ESPN graphics say there's a flag? But everybody else is saying no flag. Oh, there we go. Offense, defense. Offsides defense. By Josh Sweat. Yeah, there was a bit of conflicting. Was there a flag? Wasn't there a flag? But there was a flag. But the Chiefs fans are booing. I think they're booing that they didn't throw a flag on the pass interference on Kelsey there. Or whoever that is. Kelsey's 87, right? Or am I thinking of Sam Laporta and TJ Hawkinson? Oh, Pacheco, big run, first down and more, down to the 25. The Chiefs drove down in the end zone and Philadelphia intercepted it. So they answered an interception with an interception, and Kansas City has the ball, and they're trying to drive now. Oh, yeah, Chris Jones had back-to-back sacks on Hurts before. And the Eagles did have to punt to Kansas City, and that's how they have the ball now. Mahomes scrambling to his left, trying to avoid a sack. He's still running. He gets to the first down, and now he's out of bounds. Unless there's a third interception in this game thrown, I could see the Chiefs scoring on this drive. Now we are at the 2-minute warning. This game is going by fast. I tell you what. Last play you saw was the Hurts pick, but then Kansas. I'm trying to make sure I got this right for you, Beast. That Hurts to A.J. Brown pick, but then Kansas City tried to drive and they got close to the end zone, and then in that end zone, the Eagles got their own interception. But then on their drive, they couldn't do much with it, and they had to punt because Chris Jones had back-to-back sacks. And then the Chiefs got the ball, and they're driving, and that's where we are right now, and they're about to score. So, yeah, this game seems like it's very well evenly matched. Lots of good players doing lots of stuff on especially on the offensive lines and the defensive lines. So, and in my opinion, I think the Chiefs' defense is better in this game so far right now. Still trying to figure out my power rankings, so some combination of Philadelphia, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Detroit in the top 4. And then I see no reason why Cleveland shouldn't leave the top 5. I might even promote them to 4 or 3. Pacheco gets a few yards on that one. And then after that, some combination of San Francisco, Dallas, Jacksonville, and Miami. I think somebody called a timeout. But Kansas City's running the ball pretty good. Pacheco Gets a few yards on that one. I don't need to hear from Peyton Manning. Yeah, Justin Watson's been a popular target tonight so far. 3rd and 4, but the first down marker's at the 1 yard line. Pass caught to Kelsey, and he's in. Touchdown, Chiefs. Thank you, Travis Kelsey. Now's a good time for you to do something. And Swifties are going nuts right now. And my fantasy team is gaining points because of it. Yeah, they fooled him on that one. The Chiefs get on the board again with 1:45 to go in the first half. And the media is going to go nuts about that Travis Kelsey touchdown all week because they can. But still, though, I'm glad. I'm glad the Chiefs are winning, and I hope the Chiefs win this particular game because that would mean the Lions would get closer and closer to getting the number 1 seed. They would tie for first place, even though they wouldn't win the tiebreaker. But, yeah. The Lions would have to go undefeated for the rest of the year, and then the Eagles would have to lose one more game. Or maybe the Lions just lose one more game and the Eagles lose 2 more games. I want to take this time to check out some of the box score statistics going on right now. Jalen Hurts for passing is 4 for 6 with 42 yards and 1 interception, while Patrick Mahomes is 8 for 11, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Philadelphia rushing, DeAndre Swift has 8 carries for 47 yards, while Isaiah Pacheco has 12 carries for 66 yards. Oh, Swift has a touchdown, by the way. Philadelphia receiving, you have Devonta Smith with 2 receptions for 31 yards. A.J. Brown, 1 reception for 8 yards. And then Kansas City receiving, Justin Watson, 2 receptions for 16 yards. Travis Kelsey, 2 receptions for 11 yards and a touchdown. Rasheed Rice, 1 reception for 14 yards. Wow, there's no clear-cut favorite passer for Kansas City's there. Philadelphia has 2 tackles for loss, 1 from Milton Williams, 1 from Hassan Reddick, which was a sack. Kansas City has 3 sacks, 2 of them from Chris Jones, 1 from Trent McDuffie, and those are also the tackles for loss for them. But yeah, Chris Jones is doing all right in this game. Nick Sirianni, I'm sure, is a great guy and a pretty good head coach, but I just hate his face for whatever reason. Oh, Jalen Hurts gets the ball stripped out, but he picks it up, and he pretty much gets sacked. Trent McDuffie again. Trent McDuffie, I told you guys, I mentioned this. He's tied for first in forced fumbles, and he got another one there. He's good at getting the ball out of your hands. Wowzers. He was somebody I hope the Lions might have drafted in the first round a couple of years ago. Second and 19. Hurts processing. Quick pass to Gainwell. Goes out of bounds. 5 yards. That's a good top 5 there, Beast. Can't argue too much with that one. Hurts runs up the middle with it. He gets tackled at the line of scrimmage as he tried to run with it. Yeah, something like that. I think his face is too square in certain areas and his chin is too sharp. But then again, who am I to judge who's ugly and who's pretty? Like, how relevant is that in the world of football? Mm-hmm. And the Eagles have to punt it. Shanking it to Tony. Takes it from 40 to the other 45. So I'm liking what I see with Tony and his punt returning. That's good starting position for the Chiefs, but they have a penalty, an actual offside penalty that will bring them back. Jawan Taylor. Isn't it the most annoying thing when you're about to have all the momentum and then somebody gets a penalty? That's why sometimes I get mad at Penei Sewell whenever that happens, when he gets a penalty, because he's my favorite player and I hold him to high standards like everybody else, and then like something like that happens and it's like, oh, Sewell, come on, man. You were like God to me, man. I have your poster and everything. And just like that, I can't hear anything. My tablet's doing funky things. Second and 15. Mahomes, processing. Pump fakes, passes down the middle, passes dropped, intended for 84. Justin Watson. 34 seconds left to go in the half. Mahomes drops back, processing. Darts it down the middle. First down, 20-ish yards to Watson. Clock is running down to 20 seconds. Hurry up. Mahomes spikes it. Dang, the Chiefs really are out of timeouts, and Philly has only one. Why is there a flag? Encroachment defense. 98. Jalen Carter. What are you doing, buddy? Cause the quarterback to come out of his stance. Oh, I see what was going on. Wow. Mahomes pointed at it, and sure enough, the refs granted his wish. Mahomes processes, dumps it off to one. Gets the first down, I think. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3. Spikes it. Yeah, I know. At this point, I like to poke fun at the refs as often as I can. I think they're calling a fair game, aside from that Swift touchdown where the holding wasn't called. But Harrison Butker is about to kick a field goal, so the refs haven't given me too much to complain about tonight. But then again, if they do, then I don't really care that much because it's not against the Lions. Yes, I'd like the Chiefs to win, but I mean, kick is up and it's good. 43 yards out. Chiefs extend their lead as they go into halftime. I'll be right back, but I'll be back quickly, if that makes sense. Beast, you're in charge of letting me know if I get rated or not. Deal? Deal. Shut up, Peyton Manning. Shut up. No raid. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm eating pretzels right now. It's delicious. Let's go Chiefs. Beat the stupid Eagles as a Cowboys fan and Jets fan. How about as a Lions fan? Because if the Eagles lose, then the Lions tie with the Eagles for the top seed in the NFC. But the Eagles would win the tiebreaker because the Eagles have a better record against NFC opponents. So, yeah. All I know is about that question. I'll answer for Luke if he doesn't answer. I just remember seeing on Twitter Robert Saleh tackle Zach Wilson to the ground after he almost ran into him. So uh, I think that's pretty symbolic of what's happening with Zach Wilson right now. But former Lions backup quarterback is now taken over. Tim Boyle apparently is over there, and then David Blau. Whatever happened to David Blau? I think he's on the Lions, back on the Lions practice squad. If I last I checked, if I remember right. Then again, those two backup quarterbacks are so interchangeable in my mind that like it doesn't really even matter to me. I mean, after all, both got cut pre-seasons ago by the Lions, and then that's how we wound up with Nate Sudfeld, who is out for the year when he got injured in that last preseason game. Here's one question I want to ask, a thought-provoking question. Will the Buffalo Bills make the playoffs this year? Last season, they were the Super Bowl favorites, and this year, they gone from a good team to a mid team. So, what's going on with the Bills is what I want to know. The Bills are kind of starting to be in that same category to me as like the Jets and the Giants. No offense to fans of either of those teams, where like they're getting a lot of the primetime spots, but like the games there are not as enticing as like some of the other teams. I mean, Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs or Josh Allen running the ball in the zone, that can be something for sure. But it just seems like they're not as explosive of an offense as they used to be. And I know they have injuries on defense, so Chris Berman's talking, and I want to hear it. I didn't know that about the Lions. They're the first team when they were down 10 or more in the last few minutes or so to come back and win. Thank you, Chris Berman. The Cleveland Browns logo on their field of the elf is still just that. I hear my tea going off. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Bills' tough schedule. There's just something about Chris Berman's voice that just does it for me. I used to love him when he did the home run derbies in the Major League Baseball. So back. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to do some internet browsing real quickly. Broncos Jackson banned 4 games for Dobbs hit. Very funny. Perna was joking about like how just watch how he gets suspended after going on a rant about like how that it's a hit, guys, big whoop or whatever on GPS this morning, and sure enough, it happened. So, sometimes I swear the NFL does things just to spite people like Perna. Yeah, no, I said it earlier, Luke, on this stream, but I feel bad for the Jets after what happened with Aaron Rodgers on that very first drive of the season, because I think the Jets probably would have been right up there with the Dolphins if Aaron Rodgers was playing and everything was going according to its plan. But what can you do at this point? What do you think is going to be the long term plan for the Jets? Like once they're done with Rodgers, because like he's on the team for this season and for next season, right? So are they going to try to draft another quarterback to kind of sit behind Aaron Rodgers and learn a little bit, or like what, in your opinion, Luke, if you want to respond, like what they do about that? Because Brees Hall is impressive. So maybe like improve the offensive line a little bit, but then everything with the Jets defense is all around impressive too. So, and of course, you got Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, and Randall Cobb doing stuff. That former Vikings running back whose name I'm drawing a blank on in that moment, Cook, I think. JJ McCarthy to the Jets. Interesting. It's funny because I know the NFL draft is going to be in Detroit this upcoming offseason, and I always imagine like a long-term plan just for the vanity of Detroit, just being like, we have the draft in Detroit. Let's make this a special Detroit night. Let's draft the Michigan quarterback to go to the draft, which is in Michigan, to go to the Michigan NFL team and all that. But I think Jared Goff has proven himself at this point, and they've already drafted Hendon Hooker. But yeah, I've usually at this point of the season, I'm up to date on like who all the best quarterbacks are and everything. But because the Lions are pretty much done rebuilding, I haven't seen much of a need for that. But I do plan on trying to do another mock draft video soon to try to anticipate what needs the Lions could have, as well as the NFL draft in general, because there's Caleb Williams, the North Carolina quarterback, JJ McCarthy, and then a few other names as well. I know of Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State. He'll probably be up there too. There's a lot of cool names of players in the draft too, like Kool-Aid McKinstry. Josh Newton is a name that I keep seeing, who I think the Lions might get at a certain point. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Who else was there? Dang it. I don't know. They're playing that song again. I can feel it coming in the air with the highlight reel. Do you prefer this with Monday Night Football or Carrie Wood or Underwood or whoever the country female singer is for Sunday Night Football? I think I prefer the former. Amazon needs to think of something for their Thursday Night Football games for that. Yeah, that's fair. I noticed that, like, with trade rumors in the offseason, a lot of Lions fans wanted, like, Sweat or the other edge rusher from the Commanders that went to the 49ers. And I figured the other teams would know that, and they would drive their price way up for that. And then the Lions are just going to have to think 2 steps ahead of that. And then hence they traded for the wide receiver Peoples-Jones. And that's kind of what I figured. But in my opinion, cornerback is another big need for the Lions too, because they only have Cameron Sutton signed beyond this year. And then Brian Branch will probably go to safety next year, where C.S. Gardner Johnson, used to be his name, that's where he played. And then Jerry Jacobs, even though he's been starting, he's supposed to be a depth player. So I think some help in the cornerback position would be helpful too. Chase Young, yes. Yeah, I'd love to see Hendon Hooker play when you get the chance, but at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, but I hope we just don't get like held hostage by a huge contract extension that we give to Goff, and then he winds up sucking after that. Kind of like what happened after he got the extension with the Rams, you know? They give the ball to Swift. Oh, and he gets tackles for loss. Nowhere to go on that one. Lisa Salters. Third and 7. Who's that eagle limping on the sideline? Anyway, Hurts in shotgun. Running back standing right to his right. And Hurts is going to run it, but tackled for a loss. Bunch of linemen and people right there in the backfield. Quarterback draw gone wrong. Chris Jones again. If the Chiefs win, he is the MVP of this game. Eagles have to punt. Eagles have been punting a lot in this game, so that's a sign about who's controlling this game, you know? Yeah, definitely a good point, Riley. I heard Tom Brady used to like take pay cuts just to like help his team be able to afford the players that he needs. So, and as far as I've heard, Goff hasn't really been trying to negotiate contracts or anything like that. Like he's said in press conferences, like he's a believer in just like doing my work on the field and then let the rest take care of itself at the proper time. So, as far as I can tell, Goff is doing all the right things. Yeah, Lions and Chiefs rematch from first season. That would be a good full circle moment for the season. Only in this game, except in this game, Travis Kelce would probably be playing, as well as Chris Jones. So it would be tougher for the Lions. But even if both those players played, I think the Lions probably still. This might be a hot take. I think the Lions still could have beaten the Chiefs, even with both of those players in the game, because you don't draft players like Brian Branch and Jack Campbell without having Travis, knowing that you're going to play Travis Kelce, knowing that you'll have that in mind. So, and man, did Brian Branch come in handy for that game with that pick six. The Lions social media, YouTube channel, whatever, they did a video during the bye week of like their top 10 plays in the first half of the season so far, and that Brian Branch pick six was the top one. Yes, good point, Riley. Screw that the Sunday Night Football announcer, Mike Tirico, who said that. Yeah. I'd like to see whatever excuses they would come up with. So, and I'd love to see the moment of Roger Goodell having to hand the Super Bowl trophy to Sheila Ford Hamp, because based on what I heard, like he's hated the Fords for quite a while. Roger Goodell was in attendance for the Lions and Bears game. Like he honored that Detroit native who was a military veteran. So the fact that they were able to come back and win right in front of Roger Goodell was pretty something, because a lot of us Lions fans were skeptical, rightfully so, that like he had it out for the Lions for a while. But, you know, they're providing good business for the NFL this year and last year. So what can you do? But that's just my personal opinion on it. Pacheco gets the first down and more. Hockey. I know next to nothing about hockey these days. As a kid, I followed the Detroit Lions because everybody I knew followed the Red Wings. The Red Wings. I remember 2002, like they brought in a bunch of all-star free agents like Dominik Hasek at goalie, Brett Hall to go with all the good players they already had, and they steamrolled their way into the Stanley Cup. Flag on the play on that one as they run the ball. Yep, I did see that. More Lions games and less like Broncos games. That's what I remember from last year. Like that people were saying, because Broncos got a lot of primetime games and a lot of them TV games were more boring because of that, where they wanted more Lions games where, you know, there would be like more shootout type of games because Lions have a good offense, but the defense was giving up points, so that made things more exciting. So, by the way, I saw the game ball Aiden Hutchinson got, and then before that, with Dan Campbell's speech, it started with, yeah! And I was just like, yes, man. I love it. I love Dan Campbell's post-game speeches. My favorite one was from last year, early in the season when they beat the Commanders, and he was like, hey, Skip! Awesome job, man. Good job, man. And then everybody just started chanting, Skip, 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 Skip. And I got chills from that one because Skip was a practice squad person who had to get promoted because of injuries to Vitae or somebody on the offensive line. And Skip was cut, but he's back on the team now in some capacity. Anyways, excuse my tangent there. I digress. Mahomes gets the ball, processing, runs up the middle with it, and slides right in front of the first down, right in front of the end of the Arrowhead logo on the field. But it's third down now. Hey, Skip! Good job, man. Skip, 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 Skip. If you guys have a favorite Dan Campbell moment, let me know what it is. I can't get enough of that dude. He wore a shirt at the press conference today that just said salty on it. I think he's cryptically talking about the people. Oh, Mahomes gets rid of the ball. Just too high for Kelsey and just too low for the interceptor. Would-be interceptor. I think recently Campbell's getting flack for his games giving people heart attacks, so he's always like that, and then he writes salty, like as in don't eat salt if you're worried about heart attacks and stuff. Sometimes he likes to do cryptic things like that, and I try to pick up on them as best I can. Oh, yeah, wear a diaper. He said that recently. Perna had a lot of fun with that in one of his videos last week where he was doing the Lady Gaga, rah, 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 Amon Ra, St. Brown thing, wear a diaper. It was like, dang you, Perna. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass. That's another good one. I just like to spread my wings and fly, man. The most famous one will obviously be the kneecap biting one, but you get the idea with him with that. Or he was on the Pat McAfee show one time last year after the beating the Vikings, and he was talking about how he was like staring at the wave in the stands and kind of half listening to his coaches in the headset, like, hey, Dan Campbell, do we have your approval to run this play where we pass the ball to Penei Sewell? Like, oh, yeah. Yep, he really got carried away with the Lady Gaga St. Brown thing in that video from last week. I don't know if it was a power rankings video or some other video. It might have been like the first half surprises. No, I don't think it was that one, although he did give the Detroit a lot of props in that video too. Perna is so entertaining. He and Tom Grassi in their own ways. I'm glad they exist on YouTube. It kind of makes me wonder what wacky power rankings is Perna going to have this upcoming week. And how is Tom Grassi going to shake his head toward it or roll his eyes or whatever? I know it's going to come at some point, but I think the roles will switch at some point where Tom Grassi is the one with the crazy power rankings and Perna is the one rolling his eyes as Tom. But for now, we're enjoying what they're both giving us. But how can you make power rankings any more entertaining than how can you top what you did last week? Broncos 1-2, Detroit at 3.5, switching out the Browns with the Bengals, those sort of things. Heaven, hell, purgatory. Hurts going deep. Passed his caught, but was he in bounds? I feel like I'm yelling. Sorry if I'm yelling. I guess he was out of bounds because it's 2nd and 10. No flag called on that play. Oh, he didn't have possession by the time he was out of bounds. All right, have a good bedtime, Beast. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Go Lions. Swift gets the ball and he's spindling around just shy of the first down. Yeah, fair enough. Big play, you can definitely yell. So I'm thinking more in terms of like my neighbors and that sort of thing. Because, man, they must hate me. I have a doormat in front of my door that says, apologies for the noise. It's football season. So hopefully they get it. Swift, he gets tackled in the backfield. He had nowhere to go. The Chiefs' defensive line is the MVP of this game. Good night, Beast. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Another punt from the Eagles to the Chiefs, but Tony can't go anywhere with it because he gets to the 30. Willie Gay made that play, Joe Buck says. The Chiefs' defensive line didn't have anywhere this much success against the Lions' offensive line as they are with the Eagles. Just saying, who's got the better offensive line? But top offensive lines in the NFL. The Chiefs are actually one of the teams that are up there too. The Eagles are up there too. Lions are up there as well. The Cleveland Browns were up there as well, but I think they had some injuries to some of their tackles. And then Baltimore Ravens are the only other team I can think of. Ravens should be a Super Bowl team if they're just healthy. But it just hasn't all come completely together for the Ravens in a few years. Stay in the night. Get it, Santa. Do the disco. Sorry, guys, I'm bored. It's just another Madden Monday. Come on, baby. I wish it were a Sunday. Come on, because that's when the Lions play. Get it. Sorry, I had to channel my inner TG there, who used to do Madden Mondays in the off season. I got my decaffeinated green tea keeping me company here. It's important to stay healthy, and I'm convinced that I have not caught colds or sicknesses of any kind because I've been drinking at least like three or four cups of tea, hot tea, every single day. I don't know if it's practically been helping me or not, but I like to think that it has. It definitely helped when I got influenza early in the year, when I had Earl Grey and honey when I needed caffeine to go and work because I still had to go to work. I won't get into that right now, but you get the point. Sideline reporter updating us on Taylor Swift. She's in another part of the world. And they're showing Mama Kelsey. Not talking to anybody right now. Uh-oh. This happened in the Vikings game. Travis Kelsey kind of had an injury. Now he's limping off the field here. But Kelsey caught a pass there, and Did some damage with it. He's wearing yellow shoes. Wait a minute. He's the one wearing yellow shoes. What's the cryptic meaning behind that? Third and 7, Mahomes goes deep, and it's incomplete. Intended for Watson, who couldn't keep up with the throw. 4th and 7, though. And they punt it away. Eagles catches it at the 13, and he's running down to the 30. Gets to the 40. Britton Covey. I love seeing good punt returns because I think they're low-key one of the keys to successful offensive drives if you can, get them in good field position. Could make all the difference in deadlock games like this, kind of like what Kadarius Toney did in the last Super Bowl, This Fargo preview is just so what? There's 2 teams, and then here's 2 other teams. I got to figure out how to do the top 4 for these teams because I feel like I'll have a 4-way ring around the rosy between these teams because one team has defeated the other. Funny story. Before the last regular season game, before I went to Lambeau Field to watch the Packers and Lions, I told my dad over the phone that we have a 3-way ring around the rosy playoff scenario going on between the Lions, Packers, and Seahawks and that sort of thing. And then and then when I'm in the hotel room and watching games on Saturday, I see the Chiefs playing the Raiders, and they do a ring around the rosy before they score a touchdown on the Raiders. It's just like, wow. It's things like that that make me think God is cheat coding everything I experience in my life to try to mess with me, Like it's Jim Halpert using his divine his divine powers to pull Dwight Schrute pranks on me. Maybe I'm mentally ill. I don't know. I know the key to knowing if you're a narcissist or not is whether or not you think everything is about you. And that might be what is going on with me with that. So I feel like I'm too nice of a guy to be thought of as a narcissist. Maybe I will go through phases where I'm like that, but I don't know. Ooh, there's a Marinette hotel building that has like Go Chiefs. It's like a bright light board. Anyway, Eagles get the ball. 1st and 10 at the 40. Hurts processing. Dump pass skips toward his target. Incomplete. Devonta Smith. Eagles tight end. Questionable return. Ankle injury. They don't have Dallas Goedert either. Honestly, I didn't know who the Eagles tight end was until then, but I remember the name Dallas Goedert. Ironic that somebody with the name of Dallas is playing for Philadelphia. Hurts passes just short of the first down. Devonta Smith again. He's a real scrapper type of guy. He won the Heisman before he was drafted. This has to be his third year with the Eagles? The tush push time. Brotherly shove. Do they get it? I think they did. It's the first time in this game we've seen this. I think they got it. Chiefs' defensive line has been good in this game, but I don't think they can beat that. Who can beat that? I like to think the Lions or Bears could because they both have top rushing defenses. We'll see if the Lions and Eagles meet in the playoffs. If the Lions can stop the brotherly shove, tush push. Jet sweep to Swift. And he's getting a first down and more, and he's breaking away. DeAndre Swift getting a big chunk. It goes down to the 15. I remember Swift doing good on those jet sweeps with the Lions, so just saying. First and 10 at the 15. Hurts and shotgun. Takes the snap. Passes toward the corner. Intended for ground in the end zone. Incomplete. Just grabbing the other teams that'll be my power rankings. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who are the other two? That may remain a mystery. Oh. Devonta Smith, after a fake, passes it. 5-yard gain. Blah. I'm starting to get loopy. Everybody at work was loopy today because it wasn't busy because students are going home for Thanksgiving. Hurts is keeping it. And he gets to the first down and more. Touchdown, Eagles. Hurts does it himself. Eagles are gaining momentum in this game now. Making it interesting. A third quarter touchdown for Hurts. Jake Elliott on the extra point. Kick is up, and it's good. Almost hit the crossbar again, but it didn't. It's back to a 3-point lead for the Chiefs. Jam into the commercial transition. Just browsing the internet right now, checking other YouTube stuff. All right, nothing too new going on. My face is itchy. Someone told me earlier today it was glittery, but I don't see what they were saying. I just responded, "Well, maybe I'm just too handsome for you." Okay, maybe I am somewhat of a narcissist. Hmm. Seven straight AFC West titles. It's interesting how all these highlights are not about Patrick Mahomes anymore, but about Travis Kelce. Rashid Rice gets a first down. And there goes that earbud. A pitch to Pacheco. Gets about 5 yards, but there's a flag. Against Kelce? Oh, yep, holding. Hassan Reddick, holding play. Standing next to Darius Slay right there. Oh, yeah, kinda. Reddick sold it well, if that's what he was trying to do, too. Hutchinson is also good at drawing penalties. Six-yard gain. Mahomes passed to Rice down to the 38. I wonder how much is going to rattle the sports world the day that Joe Buck passes away. Because if you think about it, anytime we watch a World Series or Super Bowl or any key game, Joe Buck is always the voice we hear. I know a lot of people hate him, but, Mahomes, deep pass, incomplete. And there's a flag on the play. Might be on Darius Slay for pass interference. Yep. I wonder about the history behind why, when there's a pass interference penalty, the ball gets placed at the spot of the foul, as opposed to like a 5-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty. Pacheco gets a couple yards there. So the ball is. Oh, dang it. My tablet is having issues again. Anyway, where's the ball at? The 45-ish, 40-ish on Eagles territory. Mahomes goes deep. Oh, he gets tripped up, incomplete. No flags, though. He tripped and fell. It's gotten kind of a little bit more boring recently. The start of the game, though, I thought was really good. In terms of watching two teams with lots of good players on all position groups, just kind of locked in a stalemate, sort of. But Kansas City's kind of broken away a little bit, and Philadelphia is trying to catch up. So I at least think this game is a lot more entertaining as opposed to watching the Jets and the Bills or something like that, which is what we've often been exposed to this year on primetime. Kadarius Toney pass incomplete, and there's a flag on the play. But I see your point, Luke. I remember watching the Dolphins play the Patriots early in the season, and that game almost put me to sleep. Defense number 35, illegal contact. Darius Slay, wow. And that was a lot of passing, a lot of running, and a lot of high-powered offense from the Dolphins in that game. So it depends on which category of football you like watching. You like watching linemen beat each other up and getting sacks, then, watch the Ravens or the 49ers. If you love watching intense passing plays, then, watch the Miami Dolphins. So I guess it just depends on what you subjectively find entertaining in football. For me, my favorite play in the NFL is an interception, because it's oh my gosh, interception is made, the things are changing, what's going on there? A sack is kind of up there for me too. And then, obviously a touchdown or something like that. I also love good punt returns or good kick returns too. Those always get me going. Second and 10 at the 39-yard line. And if you're more of a football expert too, then you'll probably know the formations each offense and defense tries to do and what sort of schemes they run and the audibles they call. And it probably gets that much more interesting to you too. So Green, thanks for asking. How was my day? Thank you for joining me. My day is going pretty good, I think. I had a pretty easy day at work, and I came back and I saw that the YouTube short I did for the preview of this game got 400 views, so that made me happy. And now I'm watching this game that I got pumped up to watch. So all in all, not too bad of a day. Monday of Thanksgiving week, so She's looking forward to having several days off. Oh, Pacheco has a big hole, gets a first down and more. So, thanks, Green. Let me return to the favor and ask, how is your day going? Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm the king of small talk, by the way. So I will do that. No matter how awkward it is if I meet a new girl and I just extend the small talk for a while. Just kidding. Oh, end of the third quarter. And of course, I forgot to change it from before. Maybe I jinxed the excitement of the game by forgetting to change the number for the quarter. I'm still trying to figure out my power rankings after this game is over. Let's assume that the Chiefs win. Then, between the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions, and the Ravens, those are going to be my top 4 teams. How do you figure that out? Because, each team has beaten the other team, you could say, because the Ravens beat the Lions, the Chiefs might beat the Eagles here, and then the Lions beat the Chiefs. So it's something I kind of have to figure out. And then you have the usual suspects for the majority of the rest of the power rankings, the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Jaguars. And I did say that I'm going to start factoring more recency bias. So if a team's on a large winning streak, then they might start making appearances in there. So there might just be one specific team that might just make the power rankings, who was once thought to be one of the worst teams in the NFL earlier in the season. But they might just make it in now. Feel free to guess the team. Browns is a good guess, although I did have them at number 5 in my power rankings last week, but they may or may not be one of those teams that we're talking about. Although they did just lose Deshaun Watson for the season, so that the Browns offense cannot catch a break on their offense in terms of injuries, because they lost Nick Chubb. I think they lost one of their offensive tackles, and then they lost Deshaun Watson. But, the Steelers are also one of those teams that is you never know when they're going to win or when they're going to lose. But, don't question the BS, as Urinating Tree would say. Mahomes processing. Quick pass to Kelsey down the middle. Gains about 5 yards. Why is Kelsey wearing yellow shoes? Yellow Nike shoes. What cryptic signal is he trying to convey? If I made you mad, Travis Kelsey, in any way, I apologize. That was never my intention. But I would need a clear understanding of what I did to make you mad, if that makes sense, Sorry, I was talking earlier about how I sometimes think everything I experience in life is the world revolving around me and trolling me in one way or another. And I said, maybe I'm just a narcissist or whatever. Oh, everybody's gone. So I'm talking to nobody. Seeing a preview for the Marvels. I went and saw it. a couple of weekends ago. It was okay, I think. So I only knew like Brie Larson's character, really. I wasn't really invested in the other two Marvel's characters. And of course, Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson's character, was doing his usual his shtick, his spiel or whatever. And then, of course, Goose the cat was involved in some other funny ways. So that's probably the highlight for me whenever the cat, a.k.a. the Flurkin, does something. Flurkin, what an awful name for an alien. Like, it's like something like, I guess a kid would like make up if they're making up animals for a kindergarten class that they drew. It's a Flurkin. And then somebody in the comic book world just took it and ran with it. And now we have that word that exists in the MCU. I digress. Still on commercial break. I'm going to have to just start doing some Black Friday shopping, too, after Thanksgiving. I have rather unique plans for Thanksgiving Day as it relates to football stuff, so stay tuned for that. It might involve me doing a little bit of traveling, too. So stay tuned. Oh, is that a medical injury we were talking about? Or no, that was the end of the quarter. 3rd and 6. Ball at the 21-yard line. Mahomes processing. Passes. Falls just short of the first down. Kadarius Toney did. What do you do here? To kick a field goal? Or do you go for on 4th and 1? Do a Dan Campbell thing. Oh, they're going for it. They are going for it. They hand it off to the running back, and it looks like he got it. To Pacheco. That's Pacheco posing after he got it. First and 10 at the 19-yard line. Mahomes. Quick pass to Kelsey. Down at the 10. Gets tackled, and the fumble comes. Ball's loose. Eagles go on it. Turnover. Travis Kelsey got the ball knocked out, and the Eagles recovered it. Oh, boy. Travis Kelsey's mouthpiece is also yellow. That's something you don't see every day, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Kelsey, yep, the ball was punched out. Bradley Roby punched the ball right out of Kelsey's grip. I can relate with that. The Lions had their fair share of that happening to them. Or maybe not the Lions, but like all around the league. Like a special teams player got injured after that happened to them, and they fumbled, and it was a turnover. So, but nobody better than the Chiefs cornerback, Trent McDuffie, is good at the forced fumbles, which is what I keep telling people. Watch out for those. First and 10 for the Eagles at the 10. Dump off pass, and the ball tipped off his hands and went up in the air, and it looked like it could have been intercepted, but it was incomplete. Oh, A.J. Brown must have blown his blocking assignment. Second and 10. Hurts and shotgun, running back on his right. Quick pass to 80. Julio Jones goes nowhere on that one. And Justin Reed gets the tackle. Third and 10. 12:43 to go in the game. Clock is running. Play clock at 15. Ball is snapped. Hurts processing. He's running with the ball now. Past the line of scrimmage. Gets down to the 15. Won't be enough to get the first down, though, so fourth down. Definitely going to have to punt now. And the ball is punted away down to the 35. Kadarius Toney, will he have another good punt return? He breaks a tackle, but he gets brought down at like the 37. Fun fact, 37 is my favorite number. My grad school final GPA was 3.74, so 3.7. So that's why 37 is my favorite number. Plus, when I played high school football, my number was 73. So flip the two digits around, and you have 37. I don't know. I think this game has been entertaining enough for me. It's been relatively neck and neck. There's been big plays on both sides, I think. So more so on the Chiefs side, especially their defensive line. Chris Jones has been a monster in this game. He's the MVP of this game if this game had an MVP. So, and I saw Travis Kelce crash the ESPN announcers crew in the pregame. It was like, what are you doing? Just Travis Kelce doing celebrity things, I suspect. 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line. Mahomes and shotgun, processing, quick pass, incomplete. Rice intended the receiver. Green, what is your logo? Just an open parentheses and then a smudge? What's up, Green? I was just looking at your logo and trying to figure out what it is. It's an open parentheses followed by what looks like a smudge. Cool. Very unique. And then what is mine? Just me in my Lions gear at Ford Field. Mahomes lobs it up. Pass is caught. Out of bounds. It's complete inbounds to Watson. First down and more. That was a nice pass. It was kind of a pop-up, but it was caught at a perfect arc right before he went out of bounds. The type of passes Mahomes can throw at the right times, it all just works out in hindsight. Kadarius Toney injured, maybe? Mahomes, quick pass. Pacheco to the out of bounds. If the Eagles can stop the Chiefs and then they get the ball back, then we kind of have an interesting ball game because the Chiefs need a field goal to tie it. Sorry for the yawning. It's not because I'm tired. It's just Mahomes quick pass again to the other side. Sky Moore, he gets about 4 yards. Third down coming up. 9:35 to go in the game and counting. EB. Mahomes cadence. Pass incomplete, intended down the middle. Intended for Watson. Apparently, this Watson is Mahomes' new favorite target. An interesting note to make in the future, because I don't remember this Watson at all during the Lions game. Must have been somebody elevated from the practice squad, and I need to do more research on this Watson. Oh, Chiefs are punting. Punter standing on the Chiefs Arrowhead logo. Punt goes into the end zone. New State Farm commercial. Andy Reid trying to keep a straight face in that one always gets me. Okay, that's a new good one. I'll give the Chiefs that one. The commercial, that is. I'm just waiting for when Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift start showing up in these State Farm commercials. The State Farm PR rep for the corporation would be a fool not to try to get that someday. Oh, pass is batted away. Trent McDuffie. It was a sideways pass, and Trent McDuffie came sprinting and just whack. But the play was whistled dead. Trent McDuffie, I keep telling people he's a great defensive player ever since he got drafted. I was kind of hoping the Lions would draft him a couple of years ago, but they didn't, and that's fine. But he is good at a lot of things, especially forced fumbles. There's a big reason why the Chiefs' defense is one of the top in the league. DeAndre Swift on a screen pass gets a first down and more, down to the 44 or so. First and 10 at the 40. The 50-yard goal spot is the first down marker. Apologies for the silence. I'm just in suspense of what's about to happen in the next play. Whatever happens on the next play. 2nd and 5. Hurts and shotgun. Swift on his right. Drops back for the pass. Processing. Scrambled to his left. Pass. Bounced in front of Stoll. Incomplete. I don't think the Eagles' offense has been too lights out in this game. They've only did the brotherly shove tush push once in the game. But I think that's more of a testament to how good the Chiefs defense is nowadays. Like, it seemed like a stalemate, like, for a little while in this game, and then the Chiefs chipped away with a few points, and they've been having the advantage for a lot of this game. Oh, Green, I saw. Okay, hang on. Hurts passes down the middle, caught, first down and more. Devonta Smith with the catch. I see that, Green, and you literally changed your picture to just dark green. I love it. You didn't have to change it because I said something. I was just making an interesting note of it. So, but nice to know that if I forget your name is Green, then I could just look at the picture and see the color green. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Hurts processing, goes deep. Did he catch that? Caught it at the 1-yard line. Devonta Smith, wow. Offense is starting to pick it up. Nice deep pass. If only the Eagles had a 1-yard play that they could do here to get a touchdown. If only I could think, why are those people so bunched together? There's a flag on the play, but it looks like a touchdown. What's the flag? Offsides defense. Decline. Touchdown. Eagles take the lead in this game for the first time in the game. Remember, I'm a Lions fan, so I want the Chiefs to win because then the Lions would be tied for first place with the Eagles. Although the Eagles would win the tiebreaker, but it would be one step closer to getting the number 1 seed for the Lions in the NFC. And the reason the Eagles win the tiebreaker, I believe, is because they have more wins in their own conference than the Lions do, because the Eagles – oh, no, hang on. Tablet's acting up again. Eagles have no losses in the NFC, where the Lions have one NFC loss against the Seattle Seahawks, the Wicked Witch of the Pacific Northwest, the team that has been the biggest pain in the butt for the Lions in the last few years or so. And our one NFC losses to them, and they're the reason why we lose the tiebreaker to the Eagles right now, assuming the Eagles lose this game. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Enjoy the Napoleon commercial with Joaquin Phoenix. What'd I miss? Nothing. NBA commercial. Now we're back. Devontae Smith in the slot. Doing man-to-man coverage, but Smith beats him. Devontae Smith is much quicker than that defender. Replaying that critical deep pass. If the Eagles win this game, I think Devontae Smith has to be the MVP. He's like the Derek Jeter of the Eagles. Kind of like how I say Amon-Ra St. Brown's usually the Derek Jeter of the Lions. You know? I forgot to update the score. I missed what happened on that play, but it doesn't look like much. I still feel more confident in the Chiefs winning this game, especially since they've been in control for the majority of this game. And the Chiefs, I think they got the ball. Or I don't remember who got the ball when, but I think the Chiefs will probably get the ball last and be in position to win. Kind of like how the Lions have won the last couple games. That pass was incomplete, by the way, where the Lions got the ball at the correct point, like late in the game, sort of. And I think the Chiefs will probably wind up doing that. But we'll see. MVS. That Eagles player was offsides. There's the flag. 55. Graham. Brandon Graham. Refs are still talking. Hardman is trying to listen. Oh, offense was the ones that was offsides that resulted in that. Interesting. Oh, I didn't see the offensive lineman move. The center? Yeah, I don't know about that one. I would agree with that color commentator there. I feel like the officiating has been more in favor of the Eagles in this game than the Chiefs. Ooh. Almost got intercepted. Like Mahomes, as he was getting tripped up, he tried to lob it up. The Eagles player, tried to intercept it. It kind of went through the tip of his fingers like that and then was incomplete. But now it's 4th and 12. I think their plan is just punt it, give the Eagles back the ball, and then let Trent McDuffie punch the ball out of somebody's hands and do a turnover that way. Catches the ball to the 25. He's taking it back. He's down to the 40, 45, out of bounds. 11th career game with 2+ rushing touchdowns. Good for him. Screenplay, Hurts taking it, slides in. Did he get the first down? 9-yard gain. Oh, there's the tush push. Looks like they got it. Brotherly shove. Excuse me. I got to call it by its proper name. The brotherly shove, which once again looked like it worked. Interesting. First and 10 at the 45. Hurts takes the snap, gives it to Swift. On a blitz, he was tackled for a loss, so a loss of about 2. Hello, Green. I see you. We're talking about the Kelsey brothers. Ew, Travis is kissing Jason. All right, Green, what would you like me to talk about? They're showing Travis Kelsey's mother. It's 2nd and 12. What will the Eagles do next? Hurts scrambling to his left, trying to get the blockers. Flag in the backfield. Gain of a few yards. He runs out of bounds. Holding offense 68. 10-yard penalty. Jordan Mailata. Ooh, Mailata. Jordan Mailata. I've never seen the word male in somebody's name before, so that's a first. I'm still trying to figure out my power rankings for my video tomorrow, and I know the top 4 teams I want are the Chiefs and the Eagles, as well as the Lions and the Ravens, but I can't figure out which order to put those teams in my top 4. I also have the other usual suspects, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the 49ers. What do you think of the Lions going 8-2? I couldn't be more excited about it. Hurts keeping it for himself. Gains nowhere on that. And I did a preseason video where I predicted that the Lions would be this successful, and so far they have been, but in slightly different ways than what I had thought. So, but yeah, a lot of things are going the way that I thought they would. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh no, you didn't know that much," but go back on my previous first YouTube videos and watch my preseason predictions, and you'll see like everything's pretty much on par. The only thing that's really different is that I had the Lions losing to the Chiefs but defeating the Seahawks, and then other than that, everything's going the way that it is. So it's a great year for the Lions. Their Lions offense is pretty much unstoppable when they want to be, and that's the type of team that they wanted to build, and their best defense is a good offense, and that's what the Lions are, basically. Oh, crap. And then I think as far as the Lions defense goes, they just need to be good enough to complement the offense, but I think Swift catches the pass, gets a couple yards. 3rd and 23, though, so 4th down. That being said, I think the Lions' defensive line and their edge rushers need to step up. Aiden Hutchinson's been doing a really good job, but he definitely needs help to get more sacks and that sort of thing. But players like Brian Branch have been doing really good. Jack Campbell's been doing really good, as rookies. Alex Angelone's been doing really good. pretty much all the linebackers have been doing their jobs quite well. Cameron Sutton's been quietly doing a good job as a cornerback. And then Kirby Joseph, when he's healthy, he's doing what he can. So, but yeah, it's a great time. I used to be. I remember lots of times I watched the Lions lose a game in the past. Oh, the punt return brought down immediately at the 5-yard line. But now the tides have turned, and the Lions are a really good team under Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson and all those guys. Brad Holmes is the GM. He's drafted phenomenally, and it's been fun to try to figure out what he's going to do, who's going to draft, what kind of players is he looking for, so on and so forth over these last 3 seasons. So the first draft he was in when he took over, I correctly predicted that he was targeting this guy because that completed the Lions' offensive line, and that could help them with their run game, help them protect the quarterback. And a lot of the Lions' success on offense started with that offensive line. Mahomes, processing, running around in his own end zone, gets rid of the ball, passes caught for 5 yards to Rashid Rice. The Chiefs want to come back and win the game. This is the drive they need to do it. Mahomes, processing, dumps it off to somebody, goes out of bounds right in front of the first down marker. That was Watson. And none of the other NFC North teams look like they're much competition either, so this division's wide open for the Lions. Although the Vikings were starting to get hot for a little bit there, and then Cousins went down, they traded for Dobbs, and now he's doing good things for them. When the Lions proved they could beat the Chiefs, they proved that they could beat anybody, though. Mahomes gets the ball to Kelsey for a first down, crossing the 20-yard line. No, incomplete. I take that back. 4th and 2. Oh, dang. Oh, just off his fingertips. His gloves are also partly yellow, too. Fourth and 2, and they're going for it. Pass to Kelsey, complete that time. There's a first down. Forgot about the previous play now because he caught that one. But the clock is running, 2:05, 2:04. They get one more play out. Mahomes processing, and he's running with the ball. Gets rid of it downfield to Kelsey, first down, across to the 33-yard line. But there's a flag. Past the 2-minute mark. Roughing the passer on defense. Fletcher Cox. 15-yard penalty. Oh. That could help with the Chiefs' momentum if they do this on the game-winning drive. That would be awesome as a Lions fan if they do. Man, I feel like I could talk about the Lions all day, though. So, but it's nice to kind of focus on other NFL teams just to kind of, to take your mind off of it for a bit. Because the one thing I do get afraid of is, getting fatigued or getting burnt out by talking about the same team over and over again. So, but yeah, the Lions offense, they hand the ball off to Gibbs or Montgomery all the time. And they get a lot of good chunk yards. Like they're the type of playmakers where instead of getting like 4 yards on the play, they'll fight and get like the extra 6 or fight for the extra few yards and get 6 or 7 yards on a play. And, a lot of playmakers like that. And Jared Goff will always pass to St. Brown. down the middle of the field to get a key play. And it's just become like poetry at this point. And then same thing with Sam Laporta, like on like those slant plays or whatever. So those are his two favorite passing targets, Laporta and St. Brown. And then, having Gibbs and Montgomery being able to get big chunkage plays. I think that's part of the Lions' identity on offense is being able to, not only run well, but be able to break tackles and get yards after the catch and, be real playmakers and win their one-on-one matchups, so to speak. Jameson Williams is getting better and better, too. He's getting more and more trusted with some of the deep throws. He had a touchdown in this last game as well, even though Goff seems to always underthrow him, but I think J-Mo might just be too fast for Goff's and his throws. And then we just recently acquired the Peoples-Jones from the Cleveland Browns. He was only passed the ball once, attempted pass, but that was one of the interceptions that Goff threw. And that I watched Jackson Kruger Sports video on those interceptions, and he made it clear, like, the Bears did a good job of disguising their assignments. They made it look like their cornerbacks, for example, would cover one person, but then they'd switch and then cover the other person, and Goff wouldn't see it because he's already moved on to another progression, and then that defender would come back and get the interception. That's why he threw all those interceptions, among other reasons. Mahomes goes deep, but it's out of bounds. 150 to go in the game. And then the offensive line has been very reliable, too. So, Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, all those guys. Jonah Jackson and Vaitai have been struggling to stay healthy, but, the backups have been serviceable. Mahomes going deep, pass. Oh, it was dropped right before the end zone. Shoot. To MVS. He almost had it. It was in his hands and it fell out. He had his defender beat, too. It, ricocheted off his helmet or something. Ball at the 49-yard line, 3rd and 10. Mahomes scrambling to his right. He's under pressure. Has to get rid of the ball. Throws out of bounds. Eagles won a flag because it was intentional grounding out of the pocket or something. Oh, now they threw the flag. Ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down and forever. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Chiefs anymore. Offense using their last time out. Wow, Beast went to bed confident that the Chiefs were going to win, but little did he know the Eagles would come back. The Chiefs are not since the Eagles took the lead, they've had the momentum in this game. 4th and 25. That sounds familiar because the Lions made the Chiefs go into a 4th and 25 situation to end their game against them, too. Hmm. Fourth and 25. Are they going for it? Eagles take a timeout now, so each team calls a timeout on this play because this play is just that important. It's almost my bedtime. Usually I go to bed at 10:30 Central Time. That would be what, 11:30 Eastern? Fourth and 25. Chiefs are going for it. They have to. Mahomes dropping back, processing, going deep. Oh! Goes off of the receiver's hands. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Eagles have the ball. And they're starting to celebrate with 1:28 to go in the game. The Eagles get their Super Bowl revenge, and they will remain in sole possession of first as number 1 seed in the NFC. This was a suspenseful game to the end. I mean, for the most part, the Chiefs looked like they were in control, but then the Eagles took the lead at the right time on a key Devonta Smith catch. "26 drops for Kansas City's offense. Most in the NFL. Yeah, the wide receivers not catching the ball is an issue. Yeah, these teams very, very well meet in the Super Bowl. But not if the Lions have anything to say about it, or the 49ers, or the Ravens, or the Cowboys, of course. Well, I think Philadelphia is definitely going to be number 1 in the power rankings. So this would be the Kansas City's 3rd loss of the season. First loss for Andy Reid against his former team. Jason Kelce's first win over Travis Kelce. All right. That was an entertaining game, at least. So my eye is itchy. I'm not crying. Anyways, I'm going to end this stream now. Great. Thanks for everybody for watching. Green, thanks for sticking around to the end. So I'll catch you guys later. Until next time, go Lions, one pride. Wow. I know, Green. See ya.